What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 21 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Archaon the Everchosen campaign. I was like, wait, Azazel? No, that can't be right. But anyway, Azazel did take a big part in last episode's obligatory breach episode, as we took down Dagrak's End and vassalized Valkia. Valkia the vassalized now, and we also managed to vassalize Throt the Unclean with Gulator, who did pretty darn well considering it was an assault on the Hell Pit itself, though I'm a little bit disappointed we didn't get to meet Throt in battle, because the 10% HP buff that he offers would have been really nice for Gulator, who's at 16k HP. Could always use more. Always use more. Though with 26 ward save and another 5% physical, he's looking pretty darn strong between regeneration and the amount of effective HP he has. Could use a little bit of armor, but anyway, I digress. This time around, we will be heading northward with Archaon, maybe to the Conclave, maybe just to maybe bypassing them and head over here. I'll think about what we want to do there. We should also assault the Volary and get our new vessel, the Warhost of Jar, and hopefully more access to more of their units. I do want those fire glaives in a few armies as well, and we still don't have a Dreadquake as yet, so it would be nice to have. Anyway, in terms of what we got to do this turn, I don't believe that there's actually anything. The building I took care of between the episodes to make up for all the naming that we did last time around, so I think we're good to go to next turn. So, unassigned skill points, pass to glory, damage building upgrades, outpost upgrades, commandments are not going to be skipped, but the other stuff is. Alright, and turn. And as usual, we'll take the time while the turn is ending to mention that once again we did manage to reach the engagement threshold, and once again we'll be doing an hour-long episode for this one, and once again that the offer does stand. 300 likes and 50 comments, and the next episode will be an hour long as well. And another reminder that the vote for the next campaign, specifically the Kislev campaign, with the changes to Shadows of Change, is up in the community tab of the channel. Looks like the Eye of the Gods is upon us once more. We have Hysteria in the ranks. Perfect vigor for armies faction-wide. And campaign movement range plus 50% for armies. That's nice. Ooh, Crucible of Champions, Hero Recruit Rank plus 10 and Lord Recruit Rank plus... Oh, we just recruited like 1 million heroes. That's actually kind of annoying. Damn, these are really good. This was Ambush Success Chance and Stock. Really strong for fighting, but not a big deal. And Gift Activation Cost, this one's a little boring. Man, getting a few lords up and running at a higher rank. I mean, I'd be tempted to delete a few lords to get the plus 10 ranks, as it would save on a lot of time, especially with regards to devoting them, and for heroes as well. Oh, but at the same time, 50% campaign movement range for 5 turns for all armies. That'll save us quite a bit of time on probably everyone but Archaon, because he can already move extremely far. I think we're gonna have to go with Crucible of Champions. It's a lot of ranks, and we don't have too many other ways of acquiring this. At least we already have the 30% movement range that we've acquired from the Gift of Slaanesh. Even though this is great, but yeah, Crucible of Champions. My underlings. What does this say? The champions under your yoke are loyal to you, and so should be rewarded. Fair enough. Alright. Everybody's doing stuff. Rank gained for Blue Scribes. They gained a rank by doing nothing, but at least I'm sure they can appreciate it. Azazel. I had a thought about you, and the thought was thus. We want you... Oh, you can recruit Chaos Warriors directly here. Huh, that ain't bad. And oh, that's interesting. It changed. Last turn we had aspiring champions available here, but now we don't. I guess the change to the corruption saw a difference in these guys. The fact that there are Chaos Warriors here is interesting, though, because we can send Azazel, or not Azazel, Prince Sigvald up there. It would be faster to just recruit Chaos Warriors than have to deal with all these Marauders. Okay, well, that's certainly something to be considered. At the same time, we just summoned a bunch of heroes. For example, the mages. You're a Chaos Sorcerer Lord of... or Chaos Sorcerer of Metal. But do we have a new Chaos Sorcerer of Metal? We do. A third eye of Tzeentch. Are you going to the Tzeentch army? I actually think you were going to the Tzeentch army. Alright. At the glory. You got decent stuff, but if you were going to Tzeentch army anyway, they already have a fire one, but they do need another one. So yeah. Alright. 10 ranks on you. Goodbye to you, sir. And we'll re-recruit you with the third eye of Tzeentch as well. And yeah, it costs us some money, but I think it's worth our time and effort. And immediately you can go for the Path of Glory to Tzeentch Metal. Damn, Penumbral Pendulum and Partners in Chaos and Mage Hunter. You got some good stuff. Let's hope that the ancient stuff isn't too bad, though. We got Mortal Prophet, which is okay. We got to keep Partners in Chaos, and we got Eldritch Aura as well. That ain't bad. Don't particularly care for open dies, but considering you're back down to rank 3 after all that, maybe worth it. But hey, at least you don't have to waste time leveling you. Iber Doomhammer, you're already at rank 9. We could get a new one at rank 19, though, can't we? Yeah, 19, that's a pretty big difference. And it's not like you have anything crazy. You do have Eldritch Aura, but you were going to go to the Tzeentch army anyway. You know what, I think we'll delete you as well. Damn, this is costing us cash, but it is what it is. Now let's go with... maybe we can go Scaled Skin, if we're going to put you on the Manticore. Alright, there we go. And that's much better. At least for these two. We do have others that we summoned. Alright, there's going to be a little bit of admin now, clearly, because of having to do that. You have a new sorcerer at level 2 who is actually going to maintain Chaos Undivided form. We get you another Chaos Sorcerer, though, of another type of Undivided, which we probably should and will. You can also march stance all the way up here, unless you need to recruit something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just trying to remember how many of these guys... you know, they're probably fine for now. I'll probably want to get a aspiring champion in here, and we'll figure out what we want to get here afterwards. Yeah, just go. And just go. Though you will need another sorcerer, and you will also need an exalted hero. Actually, no, we have an exalted hero on the way to you. I lied. But you will need another sorcerer, though we are rapidly running out of sorcerer capacity. You know what? Maybe you can go with the one sorcerer for now. We'll see. And, ooh, I had an idea about you, Kagan. Oh, look at that. Zatan is back. Oh, we're gonna have a great battle. In fact, we're gonna have a great battle just about now. And just a couple of things to do. First of all, Kagan, you're rank 7, but we can get a new guy at a higher rank. And I think I know just the who. I'll replace you with... oh, when you do replace, they get replaced by a lower... gets a little bit annoying. Alright, fine. Well, let's see. What we want to do is have Kolek hit this guy, right? Kargan the Grey and draw everybody out of the settlement. I assume this works, okay. So, we're going to want to move you into March stance, and we might want to summon some stuff here. 1, 2, 3, 4... how many of these guys will we want here? Wait. So what I want for this army, I could say one more. What I want for this particular army, like so, is basically all the types of units, if that makes sense. We already have a couple of Marauders of Nurgle that we're going to swap in from Kolek, which means you two can be marked by Khorne, you two can be marked by Tzeentch, and we'll go Spears. I want the unique units of every type. And then you two can be marked by... oh, I guess we should have switched those guys to great weapons for Nurgle. And then I guess you two can be marked by Slaanesh. We'll go sword and board for you, because we don't have any other sword and borders, but... I don't know, I might do Hell Scourges here. I'll think about it. Maybe not, though. Can't say they're all that good after all, but anyway, this will be an interesting army as well. Now, Kagan, after those switches, you will unfortunately not be able to reinforce. Okay, well, then I guess Kolek is fighting alone. Alright, Kolek. Get you in there. Now, Garrulus, I believe you were following him. As of our Trigox, you were going to move southward to join Chant, because I like your traits. And Asavar, who is newly summoned. As Exalted Hero of Nurgle. Okay, yeah, you're going to join the... you're going to join Kagan here. Man, disappointed about your movement range. I think it got... I've seen that happen before, but I'm not sure under what circumstances. Chaos Lord, Hideous Visage, Brass Collar of Corn. Do we have anything Nurgle-y? Yes, we do. Nurgle's Rot. Alright, Malefics, Rune Smash. We're gonna get you on the field. And, damn, we're down to 6k per turn. Okay, I gotta be careful with that. And we're gonna immediately devote you to Nurgle. And probably we're going to ascend you to Nurgle as well. This army, I'm going to try to make sure that it has all the different types of stuff. You can go devote to Nurgle, Lore of Nurgle. And all the different types of stuff, meaning trying to get the best types of units for each god combined together in one army. Rotten and Gallant. Speed minus 25, melee attack plus 10, melee defense plus 10. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. But if we're going to ascend you to Demonhood... frankly, this stuff is kind of mess, so it'll be a good thing to ascend you to Demonhood anyway. Alright. You, sir. Well, let's level you up and then let's get to it. We have Stench Ridden here, which should be coming in very handy. Let's get you hard to hit, my friend. Let's get... oh, I was going to put Garrulus in this army. Meaning we have to get rid of that last unit of doggos. Fare thee well, doggos. You served us reasonably well. Garrulus, time to leech some XP. And ow. So you get summoned at level 1. You are a Chaos Sorcerer of Metal. If we re-summon a Chaos Sorcerer for this purpose, for Kolek, and oh, we can't summon one here. Can we summon one at the Red Fortress? Yes. We can summon one at level 12, which is a pretty darn big difference. And we just need to make sure... wait, this Chaos Sorcerer Lord? My bad. Heroes, Chaos Sorcerer. We just need to wait until Metal comes back. Alright, we'll do that. Oh, it's getting confusing. Alright, let's see. This will be a great fight. Zatan is back. We got a Pyrrhic of Victory. He's got a full stack, and the garrison has some good stuff as well. Death Shriekers has got those blunderbusses that we'll have to worry about, and Fireglaves and Iron Demon. Fortunately, they will be coming in as reinforcements, so we'll do our best to take advantage of that. They do have the Dreadquake battery as well, though I'm hoping that that won't be particularly effective against our army type. And just gotta watch out for those poor Marauders of Nurgle that have survived so long. We will once again not activate the Banner of Eternal Flame, however, because these guys all have fire resistance, or at least all the dwarfs and demon units do, so it's detrimental to us here. Go. Alrighty, here we go. Kola gets a chance to face off against Zatan one more time in Zatan's last stand. And ooh, Kolek looking pretty good against this type of sky. Pretty good indeed. We'll see how the enemy feels about that. I do like this particular battle map. The Chaos Wastes maps are always quite nice, aren't they? Anyway, we're gonna speed this up a little bit as we try to make our way into fighting the this little army outside the settlement before the enemy army arrives. Now what we'll want to do here is to try to destroy or heavily damage this army before the reinforcing armies arrive and actually back off so that they are not super close, and by they I mean the enemies, so that they are not super close to the edge of the map. We'll need to draw them out a little bit so we can do them in. We've got a little bit of time remaining, but not much of it, as the reinforcements are well on the way, and in fact Zatan himself has arrived, dropping his sadistic snare upon one of our feral manticores, the unnamed one to be specific, and this ain't good, cause sadistic snare pretty good for single entity hunting like this, as Zatan should be able to heavily damage it, while Kolek and the rest back off. Nice few bloody spots remaining of some of the hobgobs here. Obviously we've taken no damage here ourselves, and it's gotta be pretty scary for some hobgobs to fight against the ooh, nice hit from Kolek there, knocking the bull down, and it ain't getting back up. As I was saying, pretty scary for hobgobs to be facing off against dragon ogres. Now, This is a lot of reinforcements, and we are going to have to deal with it, but Zatan looks like he wants to play, so Kolek will turn and get a few big ol' whacks in with Star Crusher, and we can actually help him out now that we do have those Shaggots. Ooh, I also see the Death Shriek cannons dropping their demolition rockets upon us. Actually, good choice for the enemy to actually use the demolition rockets rather than switch to the Death Shriek rockets. I'm pretty sure the AI actually isn't capable of switching, like it never does with the High and Dark Elven artillery, the Reaper Bolt Throwers and Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers. It always uses the single shot, and I think the Demolition Rocket must be the base ability for the Death Shrieks? Well, either way. Those are pretty darn good against the single entities or low entity units or low, and yeah, whatever, that we have. Anyway, Zatan is having a pretty bad day as Kolek and his much smaller looking Shaggots and just beat him up. There we go. And Zatan goes down without a problem. Compared to the time where Kolek fought Zatan last, that was much, much easier. And while we were fighting him, the rest of our army moved in. Unfortunately, the enemy wasn't looking too liable to move out, so we're going to have to do this relatively close to the edge of the map, and thus we're going to have to try our best to do damage as much as we can before the enemy escapes. Speaking of doing damage, piercing bolts of burning come down. We've got some Kadai Fireborn facing off against the Dragon Ogres here, though that should very much go in our favor. Although I suppose we could really use the magical damage on some of the Dragon Ogres to help out against them, but nonetheless. Nonetheless, it's looking pretty good so far. These guys aren't particularly heavily damaged. Here is where our biggest blob of units is, and in fact our exalted hero of Nurgle is here as well to add that locus of fecundity to the entire blob and keep everybody nice and healthy. This is why we wanted the exalted hero of Nurgle in this army, and why we're looking to get a war shrine of Nurgle in here as well, just to add a little bit of healing. Now I did decide to peel away 2 units of our trolls. They're less likely to get ripped apart than the Dragon Ogres are because of their heavy armor and regeneration, but because of their leadership problems, their distance from our hero and from Kolek is making them suffer in terms of leadership, which frankly I should have known, but oh well. And the Summoners of Rage summon up a nice big old ball lightning or chain lightning upon the enemy, though it has drifted away a little bit further than I would have liked, but we have managed to by and large break through the rightmost flank of the enemy army, and are now heading to where the enemy is keeping most of its range units. It looks like a little bit of a blitz fight, relatively fast for such a number of units, but I guess our Dragon Ogres are dishing out the damage quickly, which we gotta appreciate. And all that armor piercing for Kolek is really working against the Chaos Dwarfs. Several of our other armies, due to a relative lack of armor piercing, would have had a lot more problems here. Not against the Hobgobs, mind you, but against the other heavily armored units. There we go. Well done to the Dragon Ogres. And oh, it's so much better when this army gets to fight a field battle rather than have to rely on them fighting in blobs around choke points of settlements. And this is where they can take the advantage of the massive speed on the Dragon Ogres, around 70. Yeah, 70 speed. And get around the enemy, use their mass to break through, etc., etc., etc. And clearly they're very much showing their dominance. In fact, they don't need to do so much longer, as the battle is pretty much ours. There is still a Iron Demon on the field, but it is the only thing left on the field as Kolek's army takes the win. Does look like we will be doing quite a bit of chasing. Kolek's going to try to focus down the enemy lord while we send the rest of our units to knock down that Iron Demon. Shaggots, Manticore, and Manticores, our exalted hero, and trolls. Oh, the poor crew of that Iron Demon. They didn't have a great day. Even though they were the last ones standing. At least there's that. Maybe Hashut will reward them by, eating their souls, because the demon gods aren't super likely to reward you very nicely, and generally speaking, for failure. Anyway, our rest of the chasing off screen. Ooh, gotta love those post-battle loot buffs really coming in handy. Oh, damn, I should have switched the gifts, as it would have given us even more money, but I forgot. Okay, well, I'll do that in a second. Anyway, very well done, Kolek. Frankly, I think the enemy got pretty crushed there, much more so than I was expecting in that. I think that went better than I thought it would. In terms of who got the MVPs, looks like 21k damage, 135 kills on the scaled Scourge in particular this time around. And folks, since we're keeping the Chaos Trolls, I think we'll need names for them as well. Though I might make room for 1 Chaos War Shrine, so I might keep it to 3 Chaos Trolls. We shall see. And out of the 2 Shaggoths, it looks like the Rumbling got 14k. Huh. It got more kills, but less damage. I guess they were, well, one of them was going after single entity and one of them was not so much. But anyway, very well done to the army. Very little in the way of sacrifice captives favor, so I think we'll take kill captives for the next turn's auto-resolve, or this turn's auto-resolve. And the Chaos Chariot for Demahar. No, you don't need that. Let's take you off that immediately. Back to Chaos Steed for you, sir, and we'll give you some items to buff up the rest of these guys. Hopefully a Brass Cleaver, as it would be quite nice in this army. But anyway, go here, and to resolve the rest of this, damage us slightly, I'm sure, and we will subjugate you. There we go. He gets to keep the Volary at tier 5, and we get access to his units. Very nice. In fact, we'll immediately build the outpost at the Volary, and we can immediately, I guess, trade you Granite Spikes and Fortress of Eyes. Granite Spikes to you for... we have to pay you? I wonder if that's still going to be true next turn. Just do it, whatever. Let him start building it, repairing it, whatever. And we'll trade Fortress of Eyes next turn, I guess, because you guys need to... well, here's what we'll do. Kagan... Wait, how far can Kolek move right now? Can he trade? Oh, he can trade. I would actually really like to do that. So you can do this, and you can go to Kolek, like so, and you can take his Nurglite units. Like, where are we here? You and you. Is there anything else that we need to take from his army? I don't think so. He's got 18, meaning room for... at least 1 more Shaggoth, though we don't have space right now, though we do have Kuhar's second Hell Cannon, or Skull Cannon, available. At least 1 more Shaggoth to be 19, and then... I would like 4 Shaggoths, but at the same time, I think we'll get more mileage out of a Chaos Shrine of Nurgle, though it'll take a little bit of a while to get that on the field. Anyway, Kagan, you're gonna move back briefly and trade Malefics here. And your stuff, Kolek. Oh, before I forget, Gifts of Chaos. Hellforged Fury, you have to go back to Death's Bounty. Post-battle loot. And Hail of Hellfire, you have to go back to... I believe we were doing Crown of Kings, though actually at this time... since Archaon's not fighting, that doesn't actually do much for us. We could do Horrifying Presence to get the additional XP for Undivided units. We're already using Raiders, Raymond, and Ruinous Bulwark. Dark Portal's always nice. We could get some regular War Shrines. Though I don't really see the need when you could just use Sorcerers in their place. That's the thing. Or we could just keep holding on to... you know what? We'll need at least 1 more Shaggoth, so let's do Carnage Incarnate. And then we'll go back to probably another Hell Cannon or 2, and then we'll go back to Crown of whatever. For Archie, speaking of, you, sir, are going this way. We get 15 turns, presumably until the Orcs revive here, but I think Archie doesn't want to wait around. We're going to send him through Azag's territories. Hopefully, by the time he gets here, that's when Azag will spawn new stuff right on top of him. And it'll all work out. Azazel. Assuming that you are not indeed going to be picking up any new units here. Now let's put you into raiding stance and we'll move you... wait, just to double check. Yeah, you can't reach Harkaldra. But that's okay. Go into raiding stance right here, just out of range of Egmorlis here, though I suppose that if... We're not out of range. Jaden could hit us and then Vigmorless could move into March stance, but then they'll be tired and we'll be tired and everybody will be tired, though. I suppose if there's an army here, that might still be problematic. Alright, wait, here's what we'll do. Move Edgelord Hudakai here. We'll still have him join Prince Sigvald. But I'd like to see if he can... I was hoping he could catch sight of Nagaron to see if there was a full stack there. They've got to have a full stack somewhere, after all. Alright, also, before I forget... we have more Chaos Sorcerers of other types available. There's an Allure of Slaanesh and the Death Sorcerer as well. But I fear... wait, Siggy, you have 2 Sorcerers. Neither have been... do we just swap them out? I think we swap them out, or at least start them. You're a Chaos Sorcerer of Death with Opened Eyes. Goodbye to you. And we'll immediately... get another one. Chaos Sorcerer of Death with Allure of Slaanesh at level 11, and then we can immediately path to glory to... that's the question. To... oh, did we do the other one? You are Chaos Sorcerer of Shadows, so you're gonna go with Slaanesh Shadows, and then I guess we'll do the other one to Slaanesh. Out to glory, devote to Slaanesh. And what do we have here? Devastating Flanker, bonuses for Hailstrike. Ooh. Oh, this one didn't work out so well. And, oh, this is interesting. You get bonuses for Demonettes and Exalted Demonettes. Huh. Okay, wait. We are going to have a couple of Demonettes in Azazel's army. What does your current Sorcerer of Slaanesh do? Who is also named Hudaka. You currently have... Penumbral Pendulum, Magic Sand, another Lash of Slaanesh. I mean, this is all pretty fine, but I think we'll actually trade this to Siggy and give this guy to you to power up your Demonettes, if only slightly. Next up, it's time to attack Nagaron. He is only at war with Nagarith, meaning we have to declare war on him. Now, the unfortunate aspect of this... maybe we wait a turn. I don't like the fact that the Vigmorless Poison Blade is right there. Because he could immediately go after Iron Frost and then take these guys out, perhaps. At least if we take Harkaldra, it's more likely that he won't go after them. Alright, fine. We'll take the extra turn, it's not a big deal. We'll pop you then, Siggy, right here. As close to... okay, go this way. Aha! Malekith is over there. Watch him declare war on us and attack Sigvald right now. Well, Sigvald, then it'll be do or die for you, friendo. Jaeger, you can move right here. Just make sure that you're out of range of Malekith, and I'm pretty sure you are. And you can attack one of these places. Though we do also want to get you another Flamer. Alright, you guys are in position to attack next turn. Gulator, you are moving to see if Festus will survive. Looks like Brasskeep is still under siege. And is now their last settlement, isn't it? I think so. Wait. One settlement, oh no. Hopefully it gets sacked rather than razed. I fear Festus might not survive. And we'll have to, well, if he does, then we'll have to make another army in his honor. Move out in March stance. Heedless of Serena Katrin, I guess, though Throg is being fairly heedless of her as well. Just kind of moving along. Ooh, it's gonna take a while to get there. I wonder... oh, right, and the garrison here is awful. Oh, Festus. I fear for you, my friend. If we preemptively declare... but we don't know who's sieging him. It's most likely Azag, but I was about to say if we preemptively attack him. Looks like Garisi is also going to grab the Temple of Elemental Winds. Sadly, I think we will not be able to reach it this turn. Nonetheless, you're going to move here. And we'll ignore the rest of this for now. And now it's a little army. Maybe these guys will go after the army rather than the temple? What's the likelihood that they fail here? Let's just hope. You go into raiding stance. Alright. Not much to do this turn, I suppose. Village. And I switched to the Gifts of Chaos, too. You and Chant, I think, can work together, which means you can wait until Chant can move again, and then you can start recruiting units. You're going to need plenty of Marauders, but at the same time, I'd like to preserve some of the cash, if possible. Hexus the Uncornonated, I guess you're going to the Corn Army, since you're a Sorcerer. And the Master of Seals, aka our tech thief, will continue annoying Serena Catherine. And hey, got a path to glory. I imagine that that's not going to be particularly helpful to us. You have Wound and Block Army if only you had Tech Thievery instead. Steel Tech is where we're going with you. I don't think that anything here would actually help you on the field. No, that only helps when you're in an army. Alright, we got some buildings to be building, and then we'll go for next turn. Wait, who did I not move here? Oh, Village. Yeah, Village is not moving this turn, that's fine. No, that's just fine. Alright, Skull Road. No new favor buildings, no new favor buildings. Alright, just to search for favor. I know that at least one, possibly two, will have been completed this turn. You. 6,000 gold, though. And what else do we need to build at Changyang? We do have the Chaos Shrine here already. We do lack the Thralls building and the Strategy Chamber, which means your Public Order is gonna be iffy, which means I guess we'll go for the Vassal Emissary just to do Public Order, though I would have liked more capacity for Exalted Heroes. Doomkeep, you've got the Treasure House, you have the Emissary building, which means I guess we're going for Thralls. Just for the additional vassal tribute, as it's the only way we will be able to increase our income after we are maxed out in terms of our Chaos Fortresses. Forbidden Citadel, upgrade yourself to the next level. Monolith of Bjorkel, Bloody Hand, and do the same please. Wolflands, yes, Tower of Gorgoth, Loot Heap / Favor. And I guess we could start building the Thrall building. Oh, you actually like a Chaos Shrine. Nah, start with a Chaos Shrine. Alright, and I believe that was the last one of those. Unless I'm mistaken. You don't collect the income. I'll have to pay attention to these. And also Azazel, just out of curiosity. Ah, well, too dangerous. I was going to say send him for the Demon Blade right now to counteract the Public Order, but I think we'll have to wait on that. At least for a little bit. Let's check Diplomacy real quick. Fecundites are at 12. Yeah, I'll bet. Huh. Yeah, so if we vassalize them, we can save them. Because they will immediately have canceled their war. Wait, you can cancel vassal agreements, right? A moment. I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure I've done so before, though I don't imagine the factions are going to be too happy about it. Diplomacy.
Are you after a drink?
We could vassalize Festus and then cancel his agreement. It'll guarantee his survival.
May the Fly Lord spare you of his most.
Let's do it. So we'll have 10 turns of these. Ooh. But will canceling a vassal agreement do anything to our... let me just see here. Okay, wait. We need to talk to one of our vassals. Anyone, talk to you. Does it say anything about a diplomatic reliability penalty? Doesn't say anything about it. You are the master of this faction. They can't start a war, have allies of their own, and your enemies are shared. They also supply you with tribute each turn. That's all swell. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about that. Okay, well, I'm going to do this to save Festus so that we can confederate him. It'll take a while now because we'll only be able to cancel this in 10 turns and another 10 turns, only 20 turns until Festus is on the field, but oh well. It's better than him dying and having no access to him, right? Wait. Right now, who would he be in a war with? We are not at war with the Golden Order, so he'd be safe from them. Basically only Serena Catherine. And we can kill Azag the Slaughterer, assuming that that's who's besieging him, considering he's completely surrounded him and has taken all of his territory. Yeah, I think this is the only way. I'm vassalized for now, but we'll still want that brass keep of yours, sir. Alright, and we'll cancel those agreements later, though hopefully you're not going to get attacked by anybody else, and it is indeed Azag, though watch him declare war on us just to kill Festus. Out of curiosity, oh yeah, Festus would have died here. He barely has anything. And there's a weak garrison here. He was besieged for a while. Now maybe the AI would have sieged him forever and not killed him, but I think it wasn't worth taking the risk of losing him. At least this way he survives. Alright, skip. Buildings, outposts, damage buildings, commandments. What do we have here at the Volar? Oh, it doesn't matter, just pick one. And now we're good, yes? I do believe so. We also have to figure out who we want to send up here to take the plains of Zunbaijin for ourselves. Alright, well, that'll be a problem for future Ruinous. End turn. Let's see if Malekith preemptively attacks us before we attack him. Ooh, I do see Karazakarak is still standing. I still think that Altdorf, Karazakarak, and several other places should be dark fortresses, or at least allow us to build a landmark. It's a little bit silly that they aren't, or don't have a special landmark. Kind of like a special herdstone. Khalid al-Muntazir, most likely you want peace, but we do not want it because we are going to attack you and we're going to give your stuff to our friends. Garrulous Path to Glory, I'm sure that's great, but everybody's getting Path to Glories and I don't know who's who anymore. Regional Power, Sylvania, you're getting quite strong. Well, that'll be good because if the Empire is weak, at least the Empire of Undeath will be strong for when Archaon arrives. Alright. Archie, where are we sending you, bud? Let's start with you. You're going up this way. I'm almost tempted to fight the battle for the Crown of Domination. You know what, let's not move Archie, and if we can't find a good battle, maybe we'll fight it right now. And doesn't reduce the upkeep in his army, though. Okay, wait, let's check what he has to face off against, though, for this particular quest. And okay, I imagine that the reinforcements are a lot tougher than the giant pile of spawn, because they wouldn't pose any kind of problems. Funnily enough, the second battle was by far the toughest, it seems. The one with the gigantic pile of knights. That one actually was kind of an issue. Alright, let's see. These guys seem to have moved away from the Altar of Ultimate Darkness. I no longer see Malekith either, which would allow us to take Nagaron, but we actually do want them to keep it. So, and we can't do so. How many territories do they have before we strike? 12. And I also notice this. Have you guys killed both of them? Wow, Norskins, you useless. What are you Norskins doing? They Hammerfane Thrust and Wulfric both got 2 full stacks here. Now they have nothing. And they appear to have achieved nothing. Did they sack? It looks like they managed to sack Shrine of Ladriel. But what this means that these guys will come back to Harganneth, which also means that we'll probably have to send Jaeger back to deal with them, though his army ain't great at it. Maybe I should have sent Sigvald down there. Well, too late now. Let's declare war on you. Or, wait.
Burden of the Shadowland. Greetings.
Wow, minus 200? Okay, there goes that plan. I was gonna say, or we peace out with them. Yeah, that's not happening. And declare war.
It matters not.
On this way. What's it like? Minus 142. Okay, you're not becoming our vassal, at least. Not on the... Wait. Out of curiosity, how much is Harganneth worth to you? 6.6? Okay, wow, basically nothing. Dagrak, okay, we're not giving you Dagrak. Send Ashrek and Spite Reach. Yeah, no, these aren't worth it. No trade, just war.
Weakling.
A weakling? Well, Archaon is very, very far, so I guess we can't have a contest between the two, so Archaon can't prove him wrong. What can you do? Siggy, we'll start with you. Take the chill road. Be super chill about it, and occupy it's free territory, free real estate, etc. Edgelord Hudikai enter the army, though we could replace you unless you have a really good... Oh, you do have really good Chosen and Knights? Yeah, okay, no, you're sticking around, buddy. You're most definitely sticking around. Jaeger, which one do you want to occupy? Either one of these have anything? No, we'll start with Gron because it has gold.
Magic will be your end.
Probably don't need to bother with the summoning stance either. Occupy this, and also, since there's no fighting to be had here, we can delete the Twisted Relic at Harganneth. Does gold do anything for us? Why is gold so awful? Chaos Undivided Corruption +2, at least give us a little bit of income or something. I don't know. Or fancier armor if the Chaos Warriors don't care about income. Almost tempted to say this might actually be worth more by giving it away, as in giving it to Nagaron. Huh. Because if he builds up the gold, he'll generate more cash out of it, I would say. Anyway, Azazel, go to Harkaldra, please. You can... Okay, you're fine. Wonder where Malekith went. Auto-resolve this. This is gonna hurt, isn't it? Malekith is nearby, but he might be too far to attack you, or at least I hope so, because you're going to do this. Ouch. Most definite ouch. Sack it and occupy it.
Captain of the ecstatic legion.
Yeah, path to glory for everybody. You get a path to glory, etc. Occupy the place, and does this give us more vision? Maybe a little bit more, but not enough to see where we're going. Also, while we're at it, did I ever get you Chaos Strategist? Yes, so this is with the bonus healing. Damn. Could use a little bit more healing. Alright, Talzin Rune Smasher, you're headed to the Tzeentchian army, though I could use you at a higher level. Vashnar Hellnox, you're going to swap out to the demon that's for Azazel, and then Tamar, you're going southward as well to join Jaeger.
You dare.
Alright, everybody's getting their stuff. Great. Keep moving, keep ignoring Archaon. Gulator, you now no longer really need to book it southward, as you once did. Now, the question for you then is going to be this. Do we kill Kislev? Well, we could kill Kislev before turning on Azag, since there is no longer a hurry to destroy Azag, since, well, these guys are, yeah. We can't break the vassalage agreement immediately, can we? Because he's no longer at war. Wait, just out of curiosity. Nope, 9 turns. Okay, fine. No, not to worry, not to worry. 9 turns it'll be. Gulator, you are marching in a raid stance, and... Oh, wait, could you reach this? No. You're gonna go to raid stance, you're gonna march down to Kislev Town, and you're going to grab it. And looks like they have decent defenders, so it'll be a decent fight. Oh, the alternative is ignore them and just pray that they go for Throg, as somebody suggested. Since Throg is ignoring them, you know, we could take all their other stuff. I'll think about it. I'm disinclined to wait for them to do something that they may never do, you know what I mean? Kolek. I was going to send you up here. But at the same time, you should probably head to Lustria. But at the same time, and we also have a massive battle with you against Grimgor, which might be an interesting matchup. I suppose you could go to Lustria after. This would allow you to take the turns, but it'll be a long trip. Nonetheless, we need you up here. I don't think Kagan would be able to handle Grimgor's respawn. Malefac's Rune Smasher, assuming that we don't have anything here that we want to get for you, which I don't think we do, we need to figure out where to send you. Where are you going to make your name? Since we don't really need to do anything here, we can either send you to Lustria as well, or across the world. You know, yeah, we'll probably send you across the world. We still need to get Big Bird on the field as well. So, transfer to Malefax. Probably want to replace those Chaos Warhounds with Hounds of Nurgle, and also figure out what else is going to go in this army. But for now, Kagan, you are out. No Barbarian for you. And goodbye, Rune Smasher. You can probably recruit some stuff, but you can also do it next turn. For now, Channel and Fortress of Eyes can go to you. There you go. And yes, give us money. Most definitely. And also, while we're building this, I would like to see 2 things. First of all, outposts. No. Do we have a mission from anybody we like, or anybody's units that we want? No. Then, you've occupied the Fortress of Vorag, and you've occupied it as a ruined outpost, and not as a tower. Huh. It's bizarre. It's really quite bizarre. It seems like the Chaos Dwarfs want 1 tower and they don't build any more. What's your guys' experience been with that? Very odd. Anyway, Kuchar, you... Oh. They either sacked it or they sacked it. Thank you, Greasy. Ah, damn, he can reach the village of the Tigerman. Hopefully he can't take it himself. You, take the temple here. Damn, all these ogre armies just came out of nowhere. Unresolve this and take it for ourselves. I'm actually very curious to see what wood does for us. Oh, it's ammunition for Marauder. Oh, that's disgusting, no. And not the good kind of disgusting. Alright, you're headed to the village of the Tigerman next, and then try to take all this stuff. Hopefully... Can we tell you? I was going to tell him to chase down this army, hopefully before it did anything here, but oh well. And you have built a blood shrine for the blood hunt, and we'll need a little bit more in the way of time to get the other one on the field. Alright, well then we'll wait. I don't want Kuchar wasting his time. Not moving. Alright, Valmir, you will recruit Chant. You and Village are moving together. You do need another aspiring champion, although, I wish they weren't so ludicrously expensive, but what can you do? 2 for you. And while Village... 1 second. Go into encamp stance. I would like to see 2 things. The first is... Okay, wait. Hell cannons. There we go. This is our artillery-heavy army. And then I would like to see whether allied recruitment... Legion of Asgore... Still not magna cannons. Okay, well hopefully the Warhost of Jar will give us access to those. Something. And how's that conclave looking, incidentally? -17 still. Yeah, I'm reasonably sure we're gonna send Archaon to deal with you, but for now, Village and you will make your names in dealing with these guys, so... And both of you start marching all the way up there. Village, you're gonna need some Chaos Warriors and some spawn of... actually, that's an interesting question as to what you'll need, but you're definitely gonna need some Marauders. I'm not gonna build Forsaken with him. We're gonna be an interesting mix of units, and you... I guess we could get him some Doom Knights. Also, let's get him you, the Chromatic Aberrations, and I guess the Weird Spawn. Probably not super necessary to get all these on the field immediately, but we'll do it later. We'll probably give him the Severed Claw, as in fairly decent likelihood, though I think we'll keep the Knights of Immolation and the Golden Griffin of Theurgy for our Tzeentch flying army, which is going to be a completely separate sort of force. You have no Tzeentch gifts that we are concerned about, which means you're fine. Just in case we build you Doom Knights, let's start getting a few Marauder horses, maybe a couple. Although we'll probably have a pile of Exalted Horrors here. Nonetheless, it couldn't hurt to level a couple Doom Knights just in case. Anyway, you two, move together. Like so, and... Oh, you don't have teleportation stance in this form. Well, that's a shame. But 'tis what it 'tis, alright. Alright, and it's not looking like we're going to be able to get a battle going, so Archaon, the battle is then decided. You're going to switch to regular stance. We're going to level you up, sir, and then we're going to head you out to your quest battle. Alright, so what are we missing here? The Chosen ones. Now that we have Chosen, we can actually start putting levels in those. Prince Ogrex, you have only 1 point. We may not need these points for this particular battle, but who knows. Still on the fence about this. I'm starting to lean towards Raging Stalwart just because it buffs the rest of the army. And let's get you Wound Maker for now, just trying to get you to hit for 1,000 without buffs. Carry the Hammer. We should also probably start getting the Aura of Chaos on all of them. You know, let's get you Renowned. Alright, next up, Mr. Chronicler with your ludicrous spam of magic missiles. Get your magical reserves. Cooldown 15%. Oh, I do find that amusing. Don't care about the hit points, spell resistance. The cooldown would enable you to cast Pink Fires more often, and then cast another Infernal Gateway. The problem with this is that you frankly don't have enough mana to be able to cast everything. Yeah, let's get another point in Pink Fires because they're great, and let's get Glean Magic. We could also get Treason of Tzeentch to debuff everybody in a big old area. Anyway, let's get Esteemed Combatant for you. And we are trying to get to Retinue Physician, so that hasn't changed. Leadership Aura. Let's go for Leadership Aura. Good. Alright, last but not least, our new guy. Pain is Pleasure gives us physical resistance, and this gives us speed for the army. I'm gonna go with speed. We've been... Oh, actually, oh, damn. 1 second. Yeah, we're at 25. If we level Kara on the black right now, we'll lose the scouting, which means we're not going to do so, which means we're going to fight, which means we're going for the Crown of Domination and the 6th and final Treasure of Chaos. I did not read it. because clearly I haven't talked enough this episode. Anyway, the earth groans before the might of Archaon. Having gained the favor of all the Chaos Gods, he stands on the brink of destiny. The winds of magic howl from the uttermost north where the gates between worlds strain and then burst asunder, admitting a single diabolical form. A demonic champion, a lord of change, comes to offer a final test to the man who would unite all of the forces of chaos into an unholy horde bent on subjugating the entire mortal world. Not so much subjugating as destroying, but sure. Or at least that's what Archaon wants. Teleport. Alright, what do we got here in terms of reinforcements? Oh, don't look too bad. Why? I feel like the battles are switched around some in terms of the difficulty of the quest. Oh, but it also does have a habit of lying about reinforcements, as in, we could have a lot more reinforcements coming? Let's find out. While any other of mortal birth would fear a Lord of Change, Archaon cares little. He knows of these creatures that, while they are impressive on the battlefield compared to mundane warriors, it is their arcane might he must vanquish. But when Tzeentch's greater demon is banished back to the realm of chaos, leaving the crown of domination in its wake, then the end times will truly begin.
Even as this demon spawn plots to overthrow me, I know my destiny is absolute. Belacor will coronate me. Come then, Changer. Bring your best. I will prove once more that I am the Everchosen. For I am the anointed, the bringer of woes, the one true Lord of Chaos.
Alrighty, here we go, the final of Archaon's quests. Took a little bit of time to get here, but, well, time has no meaning in the warp, and I doubt, and that it has much meaning in the Chaos Wastes. Anyway, the main problem of the enemy army is that most of it is unbreakable with all of those Chaos spawn on the field, but otherwise I don't imagine it'll be too problematic. We faced off against spawn many a time, and they're going to be vulnerable to a lot of our units. We are going to send an Archaon by himself to duel the enemy Lord of Change, rather than obliterating it with magic missiles and with the Chronicler. And of course Archaon will get surrounded by monsters here, but he's happy doing what he does best. And the rest of our army will charge in to sort of collapse the enemy's right flank, more or less ignoring the left flank. We'll have our 3 of our units of knights sort of menacing this portion of the battlefield, but if they go for Archaon, that's just fine. We can completely ignore them because he's not going to die. What we don't know is where the reinforcements are coming in, and thus I'd like to keep a few of these knight units ready to counter those reinforcements as soon as they get on field. Anyway, over on this side, both Ograx and our Exalted Hero of Nurgle, that's it, that's the one, will lead their knights into combat here. Looks like they'll be going after some Dragon Ogres and after some spawn and stuff. And we also have the Knights of Tzeentch, who the Chronicler did ride in with, but now he's sort of hovering overhead, ready to drop spells as needed. Not a lot of single entities here to blast away with those blue fires of Tzeentch, but that's okay. A good old-fashioned brawl is always going to be nice, and at least our Coronate Knights should very much appreciate it. Lots of big units here, though, and the problem with that is going to be the fact that everybody's going to get in each other's way. Anyway, looks like an enemy will drop the Searing Doom down upon us. We have our infantry engaged with a big old blob of enemies here, and we're going to try charging them in the back with our Chaos Knights of Undivided, with the Swords of Chaos, and with our Knights of Slaanesh as well. Haven't seen these guys do a lot of work yet, as they are the newest addition to our Knight companies, but not to worry, they'll have plenty of playtime through the rest of the campaign. Archaon still dueling the enemy lord, though it looks like not for much longer, as Archaon is down by about 15% of his HP, and the Lord of Change and down to about 20. Couple more hits, and Archaon has managed to kill off a few of the units that were just annoying him. While all this was happening, the Lord of Change does still continue to cast his last, though with one more hit, we should be bringing him down. And there we go. Well done. It's only appropriate that Archaon, and ooh, I like how he leaves his staff when he gets banished. Pretty neat. Too bad you can't pick it up and just start whacking away at enemies. Anyway, here we go. The enemy reinforcements have arrived. More chaos spawn, wouldn't you know it, as well as some marauders, though obviously the latter are of no concern whatsoever to us. The big blob of knights here still fighting. Tzeentch, Nurgle, and Khorne working together to take on the enemy spawn trolls and dragon ogres, though it looks like the dragon ogres are trying to book it on out of that particular melee. Over on this side, the undivided knights are working together with the Slaaneshi knights and have charged into the enemy back line. I did want to make use of that devastating flanker ability on the Knights of Slaanesh, which is why they weren't doing the whole brawl thing. I don't know if I'm going to switch them to lances. I kind of like the whole sword and board thing for all of Archaon's knights in particular, but we will get some lances in a few other armies. I kind of like the idea of all of Archaon's knights sort of functioning in the same manner and ready to brawl at all times, because Archaon himself is very much a brawler. Anyway, it looks like the enemy are getting absolutely overrun here. The dragon ogres are booking it on out of there, especially with the giants, and doing massive amounts of damage to every hit. 102 melee attack and 849 weapon strength, without buffs being considered. It looks like the Chronicler is also letting a few pink fires blast the enemy marauders, and he's going to top that with an infernal gateway to make sure that we get as many of these guys gone with a single spell as possible. You were supposed to do that on cue, sir. There we go. And that's a lot of marauders about to be dead under the infernal gateway, and it might even cause yeah, they all get deleted. One of them just disappeared. I mean, it's probably not a spell that you generally want to waste on basic marauders, but yeah, it basically completely deleted all 3 units. Yeah, one of them just completely disappeared down to 15 units, and no problem. Damn. Quite effective. Otherwise, it's just a matter of destroying the spawn. The rest of the armies have broken, and only the spawn, too stupid to die, well, we'll see about that, but too stupid to rout, certainly, are unaware of what's going on other than the fact that there are things to attack. But not to worry, we will bring them peace, since the gods were disinclined to do so. Or perhaps this is a manner in the way that, a manner of peace that the gods bring those mortals. They never have to think about anything again, since their mind is broken when they are spawnified. Anyway, there we go. The crown of domination is Archaon's, and the battle is ours. And not a bad little fight, though. Once again, I don't think this is the most difficult of the quests. Alrighty, very nice little fight. We got Archaon to duel the enemy lord rather than just obliterating him with all the magic missiles from his sorcerer, and they did similar damage to each other as well, though keeping in mind that Archaon didn't cast any spells with the exception of Spirit Leech in that particular battle, so that does make sense. Looks like in terms of MVPs, the Knights of Khorne got 53, and they got, wow, 39,000 damage, but I suppose something was probably in the way of the Swords of Chaos. The Knights of Khorne just absolutely wrecked all the other knights, with the exception of the Knights of Tzeentch, who were at 33k. Both of our giants, Hugin and Munin, did quite well, and aspiring champions, but they always do well. And hey, would you look at that? Harald Hammerstorm did beat Prince Ograx and our Exalted Hero of Nurgle as well, which is nice, if nothing else, because he usually doesn't get to play nearly as much. Sacrifice those captives for more cash, and there we go. Oh, Path to Glory. I didn't even... wonder what that one's for. Souls gained from battles, Chaos Steed for Charon the Black. Great, and there it is. The Crown of Domination. Alright, with that, the last of the Treasures of Chaos is under Archaon's control, command, whatever. His quest is complete, and, well, now, the second part of his quest, destroy the lands of men. Anyway, we are going to, well, and all the other lands, march Stancia back up. And I guess we can head to Jarnagrund. It's not looking like they're gonna vassalize, or at the very least, even if they are, it seems like it's going to take so long that it's better to just destroy them rather than do so. It actually makes me think that maybe we'll send Village Enchant to grab the Veil of Woe and the Falls of Doom while attacking Jarnagrund. Well, maybe we'll want to bring the Hell Cannons out to play. The rest of the army wouldn't be all that helpful to Archaon, but I would like to see an artillery battery, a proper Chaos artillery battery, for this big fight, so we'll see. Anyway, Hexus, the Uncoordinated, you're headed to the Khorne army. Contrary to your name, Master of Seals, you will steal some more tech as you do, or as you don't, as you have failed that particular one. As of our Trigox, you, I believe, are supposed to join Chant down here. And though I'll think about replacing him with a higher tier lord. Because we're going to ascend you to Dundevet. Oh, but you do have Dragon Slayer. On the other hand, Dragon Slayer isn't such a great trait that it is worth, let's see, 5 levels versus 12 levels. 7-3 levels is not nothing. I might replace him. In fact, there's a decent likelihood. In fact, there's a, let's say, very high likelihood. Let's in fact... Let me say I don't like either one of these. You know what, I'll think about it. Kinda like them. Mildly attached. Anyway, let's do buildings real quick. And by buildings, I just mean the check for favor buildings. You ready to upgrade this? Worshippers. Alright. I would like to end the turn, if nothing else, just to see if anything interesting happens, and we could upgrade the Vassal Emissary, but otherwise we're looking good. Alright, Garrison, unassigned path, buildings, outposts, damage building, outpost upgrades, although, wait, your outpost is a tier 2 now, yes? Yes. We will want this outpost also a tier 2 ASAP for the Chaos Dwarf units, but that's about it for now. Let's end the turn. Alright. And I forgot where I was moving you, but there's just too many heroes. I might summon some more between the episodes, but it'll be between the episodes. Scarby, what are you doing? Is he going to try to go to... I should really just force Scarbrand to declare war on somebody, and hey, it does look like we will get attacked. Do we have time to fight this? We do if I shut up. Go.
For your deaths, and I always get what I want. Prepare to die.
Alrighty, let's see about that, shall we? Should be a pretty good / interesting fight, I think. We are at about half HP, and with our army damaged is what I'm getting at, and the enemy is at full HP, plus they have higher veterancy than we do. What they don't have higher is mobility, as our Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh move fairly quickly at 46 speed, and considering how heavily armored they are, that's pretty good. They can certainly catch those Black Ark Corsairs with handbows, for example, so no kiting to be seen from them. And we do have Azazel on the field as well. We're going to charge right on in, but Azazel is going to try his best to focus down those Raven Heralds. I have a healthy respect for the unit and its capability of assassinating things, so we are going to catch up to it with the Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma to slow them down, and then we're going to pop the Tormentor Sword, so we can start knocking the Heralds out of the sky. And there we go, and it looks like some Harpies are moving in to help the Heralds out to try to survive. I'm sure the enemy wants to use said Heralds to to assassinate the Marquis here, who is at half HP, but alas, we've been able to bring them down to about less than 20% HP, so I don't think they'll contribute any further. A Lash of Slaanesh tears a furrow through the ground as it hits a bunch of Black Ark Corsairs who are facing off against the Pillarmen here, who are soloing all of these units without support. I really gotta be careful about these guys taking heavy damage, but fortunately, I would say that the Hell Scourges should be the most adept at this, fighting unsupported in this manner. Sure, they won't kill off a lot of enemies, but they will keep them fighting for a long time with that overwhelm. A little bit of poison would make their day as well, I'm sure. Anyway, overhead we have Harpies drop into the ground as they continue trying to surround and annoy Azazel, but he shouldn't have too many problems with this, and the enemy lord has arrived as well, which means we'll get a nice little fight with them. Now, a big blob of enemies have been sent scurrying away over on this side, but the Blackguard of Naggarond will continue to hold for a while yet. This is preventing our entire right flank from rejoining the rest of the army, as these guys are keeping them blobbed up in the woods here, which is good work for the Blackguard of Naggarond. Certainly effective. Though over time, I'm sure the Marquis will tear them apart. There we go, Rod of Torment. No, wait, that was a Doombolt, not a Rod of Torment, and actually hit us. Must be the Doomfire Warlocks came back. Yes, indeed. They did. Enemy Lord has been defeated by Azazel at this point, and over in the background we have our Cav running around to take care of those two Reaper Bolt Throwers. I'd like to get the Sibyl and Slaughtercade back into combat, but, well, they'll have to take care of those guys so they don't come back first. Now, you may notice a few very badly hurt units, but by and large, the very, very badly hurt units are the ones from the garrison, like these Marauders that started with 10% HP, so we sent them in to sacrifice them, but otherwise don't particularly care. Speaking of sacrifice, we use the sacrifice ability on our own Marauders to massively buff up that melee attack by 30 for everybody and give a little bit of extra leadership as well, though the Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh don't really need that nearly as much. They hold pretty well. The Sword and Borders here working together with the Aspiring Champions and with the Hell Scourges here, and there we go. This is one of the things I wanted. Poison and Overwhelm working together, lowering enemy weapon strength by more than half when combined together, and this is without the other debuffs that we're gonna pop in here. Once we get the Soul Grinder for another 10%, and once we get to those Warrior Banes on both of our War Shrines, it'll be really quite strong. Enemy units that will try to attack the blobs, or we'll probably make two separate blobs in this particular army, will be down to like 10% of their starting weapon strength, so they're gonna have a really tough time dishing out any damage. Like I said, I'm determined to make these Hell Scourges work. Will it be the best way to do it? I don't know, but I'm excited to find out. You can make any unit work, and not so great or not. Overwhelm is still a very, very strong debuff. And besides it, you can look at them more like a support unit, like a War Shrine, or something along those lines, I think. Like, you're not expecting a War Shrine, or for example, a Cathayan Drum, to actually do damage for you. Cathayan Drums do no damage whatsoever, and, well, War Shrines can occasionally do some damage, depending. But yeah, if you look at the Hell Scourges more like a support beast, rather than an infantry standard, then I think you can get more out of them. For example, when playing the Lizards, I absolutely loved, well, for Krokgar specifically, building the, I think it was the Ark of Sotek Basti that had the Overwhelm ability on it as well, or you could upgrade it to do Overwhelm. I built those in basically every single army, because Overwhelm is so nasty. Of course, the Basti is probably more likely to do actual physical damage on top of that, being a fairly decent damage dealer as compared to the Hell Scourges, but anyway, enough of the Hell Scourges around for now. We'll see how they work when this army is fully maxed out with Soul Grinders and stuff. Alright, very nice indeed, though we got a little bit less favor than I would have liked, but it was a very fun and close battle at that. Several of our units were heavily damaged, specifically the Thunder Freaks, and I believe it was the Pillarmen who was fighting an enemy unit for quite a while. By itself. In terms of damage, looks like the Princelings of Perfection and the Thunder Freaks were the two that did the best. Interesting to see one of the Hell Scourges do one of the most damage, but it's probably due to the fact that it has a Razor Standard, making the unit considerably stronger with that little extra bit of armor piercing that it adds. Gotta remember to put those on these guys if they are used in other armies. Got a little bit of damage on our Exalted Hero, nearly 32k on Azazel, which is quite nice. The Marquis of Masochism continues to do well, and alas, we still don't have the chariots for these guys, but we will sooner rather than later. Sacrifice those captives, hopefully we don't get besieged here, and they allow us to heal. And I'm sure Malekith is on the way as well, and we'll be having to deal with his army. I also feel like Scarbrand is bugged. He's been staring at Stormhenge for absolute ages and not acquiring it, so not sure what's going on over there. Anyway, with that, just gonna make sure that we skip the rest of this, and hey, Dark Meditation is complete, so we got another Gift of Tzeentch. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. In fact, let's take a look at what we have right now. First of all, and we do want to get access to several of the... specifically I want a couple of Mutalith Vortex Beasts in Village's army, so we want to get to these guys ASAP. We also want to get Flames of Fate to get more Flamers for the Flamer army, and probably a few Cockatrices in a few places. Is there anything here? I mean... what we could do is we have a 1 turn of control plus 25, so we could do the bonus research for a turn, but at only 40%, it might actually not be worth it. Maybe we're better off rather just ignoring most of this, as the Tzeentchian buffs don't seem to be quite as good as the other factions' buffs, and just start racking up Cockatrices, Flamers, Mutaliths, and then eventually Soul Grinders, and possibly a few Lords of Change as well. We'll need the Flying Army, and they need flyers for it, so we'll start with you, Feathered Abominations, and there will be other stuff that we'll have to change out here mostly. Oh, damn, I should have switched back to the Crown of Kings when fighting the quest battle. Forgot that one. I'll try to make sure that I do it if we are to end up fighting Jarna Grund. Anyway, with that, we're obviously out of time. I'm going to call the episode here. Next time we continue the advance everywhere. Village might get his debut battle against a massive pile of undead. Here we got 2 or 3 turns until Valkia is ready to go. 17 turns until Festus is unvassalized and confederated at the same time. Malekith appears to be close enough for Sigvald to fight as well, so that should be pretty fun, as he has a very elite stack with all of those shades, or at the very least elite enough for Siggy to have trouble with it. Fun stuff to be going on in Nagaron, so we'll head down there. Lots more fights to go, lots more armies to try out still, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.